Is my mic muted? It's me, BC.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm muted, aren't I?
No, you're not. You're fine. You can be heard. Okay.
Cool.
Hold on. There's audio come from somewhere. Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
Where's that
I'm
coming
not
from?
even live yet, so not my.
Hello? That's weird.
Still doing it.
Hold on. Hello.
Even that echoed. It's not that. I'm not even live.
Oh, I know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. Anyways. Hold on. Son of a bitch. Hello. Hello. Hold on. I don't know why this.
I don't either. Is it this? Hold on. Okay.
That's it.
I'm muted. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You can still hear me?
Yeah, that's completely fine. That is fine and dandy. That is fine and dandy. Hello.
What should the title be? God Save the Queen?
Cha. 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 Can you hear it in the headphones at all?
You did something and it clicked on and then it went off.
It clicked on and then it went off. We're going through technical difficulties already. God damn.
And we're sober.
And we're sober this time around. Weird, wild stuff. Oh, that's why. No echo. But I got it. Hold on. You could talk if you want. Well, no, hold on. Because I know you're going to get into your fucking Queen shit. Not the band.
Encourages viewers to support your stream content.
Ask me anything. I'm trying to set up my live on TikTok.
We've been recording the whole time.
I don't care.
Take 2.
I said you could ask
I don't
me
care
something.
either. What?
If people are in here, they could ask me something.
Cool.
Nobody dared.
Okay. Let's put our phones down. It's class time.
Okay.
Hey again, everybody. This is actually Christoph, like actually now in recording mode. Alongside me is
Brianna Kaye. Hey.
here in the flesh. We tried to record the other night. We got too drunk to operate the technical equipment. That was my fault. I didn't really understand the mechanics of it with that much alcohol on me. With new mics.
Should I do this?
What?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that means.
Sure. I don't know. Right?
Okay. Yeah, we were very drunk last night.
We were. And you started talking about the Queen because you had some very strong opinions about
I
the
wouldn't say
Queen's
very
death.
strong. It's just it's hearsay and it's your opinion, and you could take it with a grain of
It's
salt.
not my opinion either way. What's your opinion of the Queen? What are your thoughts on the Queen's death? The recap, because that is definitely the 10 minutes of audio is definitely a lost episode
Of the Queen.
of the Queen dying. It's fairly recent. I mean, I know people. Everybody's moved on besides England, but
that the Brits are a little pissed at us because not you and I, but just Americans
why would they
in
be mad at
general.
me?
Because I think that we've been a little insensitive with all the
because we have
funny memes
But who
that
cares?
are going around. But when you think of like historically, like, were we that mean? Like, are we being that mean? Like, I'm just saying.
They were a little rude. England was a little rude for a very long time, and the Queen is she's just at the point where she died a week ago or whatever.
Mhm.
She's just a silly puppet head. Like she's like a 96-year-old woman who's
Right.
not running anything.
True.
She's
Very true.
there's actually something I have some opinions about something I saw in the news, but you said that you think. Do you think? Are you of the opinion she's one of the most infamous, like quote unquote lizard fucking people like out there, right?
Yes.
She's like on the list. And whenever people talk about lizard people in high places, she's like on there, right?
There's a conspiracy theory, and this might sound very scary and weird and insane.
Insane.
But I'm open to everything. If anybody knows me, I'm like, anything's possible. Apparently, there's a reptilian race.
We did an episode that
and
I feel
we
like
did.
We
Yeah,
did
we actually
very early
did
on. We did an episode
our
of
extra
it.
normal podcast for all of our live viewers, and we did one on this reptilian race, and apparently, the Queen's blood, everybody in the dynasty are all part of this reptilian race. So,
but you're saying that are they all? They can't all be 100% like
no,
full
they
blood
just have the blood.
right?
Like
They just little traces.
Unless they're like, I don't know, because they do say that like the reptilian race, like they can like shapeshift.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why would she choose? One, why would she hold on to that for that long, and why would she choose to? Anyways, what pissed me off?
If she's not really human, does it really even matter?
What pissed me off is that apparently, we stray away from politics on this show just because it's annoying and it pisses off half of the people with whatever you're talking about. But I saw that apparently, so there's a 40% like inheritance tax that's in England. You could argue whether that's too high or too low. I don't know. You can debate away on that.
Right.
But apparently the King Charles, once Prince Charles, King Charles is exempt from that because of his royal status. He doesn't have to give up 40% of all the fucking shit that the Queen owned, which I think is, I get he's a figurehead and he's now the king and he should be. That's kind of shitty. Like if you have to pay 40%, but then, and it's also 40% of taxes that are supposedly that these government officials are saying are going towards whatever services they're asking for our taxes, or in this case, English citizens, whatever they're saying their taxes are going towards, shouldn't it also be like the king also put into the pot? Shouldn't he? It's like he's like going to potluck. He's like inherited a potluck, but he's not giving any of the fucking food away. I don't know. That pissed me off.
I mean,
that upset me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% because it's like, especially like in our society day, that might have been able to fly like 100, 200 years ago.
Yeah, when you were a king back in the day, you're just like, fuck,
which was not, it
God
shouldn't have
told me
been
it's mine.
acceptable, but it was, unfortunately. But yeah, so.
And that's one reason why I get the tradition of the English monarchy or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in that form.
Do you believe in the conspiracy that or anybody listening, whether you're alive or
dead?
Well, that's you. Foolish mortals. I was like
foolish mortals.
Does anybody believe that Princess Di is still alive, or
no, she's
that
dead.
She was killed?
Maybe.
There was like
yes,
a lot
and
of
maybe
conspiracies like with that too. So with the royal family, you know, the royal family supposedly was extremely racist.
Yes.
And you know, she was dating somebody that was not.
The famous.
British
he was
descent.
like he was
and
wealthy. Middle
and they
Eastern
also said that they think that she was pregnant with this child. So there are conspiracies about that. So there's just a lot of things just don't add up. And so when I found out the queen died, like it's like if anybody passes away, like of course whether I know them or not, I'm sad for them. But like I felt more bad for the people because I know how prideful the Brits are, and
it is like a cultural,
customary thing. So I was more sad for them and the British people that I know, but I don't know. Like I kind of just feel a little bit numb to it all. But
why would we?
Because
I mean, why would we feel anything? I mean, other than like, I guess like feeling sad that like some people we know who are British are sad.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, there's not much else to it. So I don't know. It's just it was a little bit hilarious how people would get sensitive over it. It's the queen,
right?
She was 96.
Sure.
Let's calm down on like the tragedy in it. She lived a long life of being a colonizer, and now she's gone. So God save the king, I think they're supposed to say now. I think that's what they're supposed to say now.
At this point.
I don't know. Fucking I don't know. Hey, I'm officially declaring on this podcast that Christoph believes that it is now Halloween time in my heart.
It is.
We've crossed Labor Day.
Are we gonna say
Labor Day we've crossed. Spooky season? Yeah. No, we're not going to say spooky season. It's not going to be uttered out of my mouth.
Who hates spooky season?
No, I think I've declared that until Labor Day, the day after Labor Day is when I'm fully on board, but not before that. I think I've settled on my
I'll be shopping. I'll definitely be like buying all my things as soon as they're coming out for Halloween.
Sure.
But yeah,
because you're a good old-fashioned capitalist.
But I'm not till around this time is when I really get in the mood to start like decorating.
Yeah, so we're here. I mean, and we're gonna be. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna give. We're gonna be going to some Halloween events. We might give up some of them, like when we're gonna be going to see if anybody who's into the paranormal, into the spooky, into all this stuff, who may be listening, maybe meetups. We'll see. We'll see the temperature on how much my paranoia kicks in terms of like me feeling I'm going to be murdered by a random person. We'll see what happens. But it's here. Welcome everybody to Halloween time. Enjoy it. I hope you get to carve a pumpkin, and I hope you get scared a few times.
And I hope you have amazing costumes.
Hey, so I just in case we don't make it, babes, I believe in us, but just in case we don't make it, there is a bachelor who's
the fuck are you talking?
Who's floating out there. I just want, just in case, I don't know what's in your head. You might decide to move on.
You're so stupid.
I'm fully committed, but just in case you have a friend or you're on the market again, there's a 80-year-old man, Iranian man, who is a eligible bachelor and is looking for love. The only downside to Abu Haji, who lives in one of the downsides is he lives in Iran, so you got to move to Iran. And the other downside, something you can work beyond, is that he hasn't bathed in 60 years.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but I mean, there's things you could look past. I'm sure he has a great personality, but yeah, he hasn't bathed in 60 years. What is and apparently he smokes animal feces out of a pipe.
Who is this person? Like how did you even find him?
Well, I didn't find him.
He found you.
He found me. We found love.
LinkedIn.
I don't know how to tell you. This is a weird way to tell you, but I want a divorce and I'm going to marry a man who hasn't bathed in 60 years. Apparently, he had some trouble when he was younger, so he just decided not to wash himself anymore. I'll pull up a picture
that sounds more like
for
a
our
mental
socials.
Disorder. A lot of people that have like mental disorders.
Here he is. If you want to take a little peek.
You're lying.
There's
Stop.
there's the new potential.
No.
Yeah, he hasn't bathed in 60 years, but he's announced that he is looking for love.
Oh,
so he is interested at 80 years old. He's on the market.
We'll have to share this on our page.
Yeah, we'll share it on our page. We'll show you the eligible batch just in case you're interested. I don't know if he's on Tinder or Grindr. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm sure you can find him if you need to. What is like between an OCD like obsessive bather and a Johnny Depp type, which is somewhere in the middle, who doesn't bathe and like bathes maybe once every month, and our friend Amu, what is your threshold for love, like where you'd be like, I can't do this anymore? If I didn't shower, if I showered once a month, would you stick around? If I was like, no, this is my fucking philosophy. What's your threshold?
Does sponge baths count?
No.
Like, would you like at least wash your dong?
Accidental bathing is okay.
That's a fucking hard no, because I don't need my female parts getting fucking fucked up from all your nasty ass bacteria. So
what's the threshold?
Sorry.
Could I go?
No, I would stay with you. I just want to fuck you. I'd be like, you want to get fucked, then you need to fucking go give yourself a little sponge bath.
What's the point where you're like, I can't even, like, the smells
tried.
too bad?
Didn't work out though.
Wow.
I would say 2 days.
Wait, if I didn't shower in 2 days, you would leave me? This is fucked up.
Well, it depends on the circumstances. Like if you genuinely just aren't showering for 2 days because,
What if I'm on a camping trip? You're gonna leave me if I don't shower in 2 days on a camping trip?
You can find ways. Get a wipey, right? Like you can fucking figure it out.
I don't got a wipey, but I got a wifey. So we did it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, listen, I know your mom's technically looking for somebody. Should we fix her up?
Does he live on? Is he homeless?
I'm gonna guess he's homeless.
What if he wasn't?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say
I know some people that aren't homeless that just don't bathe, but they have mental disorders.
Yeah, but when you haven't bathed for 60 fucking years, I don't think you're gonna have.
I wonder if that's like too like on point. Oh my gosh, Marsha's on here. She's laughing. Okay. I get a wipey. Oh my god. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. But I wonder what that feeling like. I'm gonna go down this road. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
What is it? What is that sensation like to smoke animal shit? Do you think he gets high off of it? Do you think it has some kind of?
Oh, for sure. It's probably like his
almost like a mushroom effect,
organic way of yeah.
He had to get something out of it. He's like this, or is it just shock value? He's like, fuck all you. I'm gonna be as disgusting as I possibly can be.
I don't know. But so he's been interviewed? Is that like?
Yeah, I think he's been interviewed. He's been all over the place, and now he's just like been a weird, like, not local celebrity, but a fucking pseudo celebrity for not bathing. But now he's like announced, his intentions.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can get him on The Bachelor? Have him be The Bachelor? Could you imagine?
I'm sure people have tried. Don't you think they've like tried to approach him?
They probably had tried to approach him for a documentary, or a reality show or something. Of course, he's been approached. But a guy like that, he's not interested in money. Like he's like, there's no money that you could pay me, that that I would want. Like he's obviously not interested in fucking a lot of the earthly wants or needs. I don't know. I feel like
maybe he's a reptilian.
he might be. He's one of the good reptilians.
Aw, it's like you look at his face and you just want to wash it. It's sad.
How much do you think he'd go? How much do you think he'd charge to like actually be bathed?
I don't know.
I don't know if there's any amount of money.
I don't think that obviously is a asset to him at all. When I don't even think he seems, just by looking at the pictures, he seems like he's content.
He's happy as fuck. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
he's smoking that animal dumps, and he's
why?
Like,
yeah,
he has
why?
no reason.
Yeah, why?
And he's like, fuck y'all, you all judge me like I'm as happy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's where happiness is elusive, because you could have everything under the fucking sun and be miserable. Yeah. You could have as much money as Jeff Bezos. I don't know his disposition. He might be a happy guy. I don't know. He seems to be smiling. But you could have as much money and be completely miserable, or you could be sitting in the dirt, smelling like fucking asshole, smoking animal asshole, and be as happy as fuck. Yeah. Happiness is completely elusive. I don't fucking get it. Once I figure it out, I'll sell it and become Jeff Bezos. If he's happy, he's happy. So good for him. Good for him. And I do hope he finds love. I hope he finds that someone out there who's willing to accept him. Yeah, it'd be so cool if he found like a lady who hadn't bathed either, and she was just hiding in the shadows. Oh, let's call it Disney. Let's make this happen. So apparently, there's a whoopsie name in Oregon. There's an unfortunate name of a mountain in Oregon, that they're finally getting around to changing, and the mountain is called Swastika Mountain. And we're talking about August of 2022. There is still on a map a mountain called Swastika Mountain.
How do they allow that?
I don't know. Like, you figured someone in fucking Oregon would be like, hey, guys, like, I know we're all busy, but let's change the repugnant name of this mountain. But they're finally fucking getting around to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, as long as it's like, it's well known now and they're making an issue about it, then like, yeah, get rid of that shit.
I just don't, I don't understand. I don't know if there's like, it says due to its remote location, the mountain and its name have largely gone unnoticed until now. Like a hiker's got to notice. Yeah. Like,
is it like a place that's like really secluded?
It's like really secluded. I mean, Bigfoot. It's probably secluded enough that, like, Bigfoot. The scuttlebutt is Oregon and Washington is where Bigfoot is having his picnics. He might be. It's like remote enough where like that's where Bigfoot might be hanging out, is on Swastika Mountain. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Absolutely crazy. But they're gonna change it.
Good.
Yeah. If you can name a mountain, what would you name a mountain? Would you name it after yourself, Brianna's mountain?
I'd probably name it after a cat.
I'd name it after Amu Haji.
Chunky. His nickname, Chunky Mountain.
Chunky Mountain is pretty. See, that's
Chunky Mountain makes you hungry.
That's I feel like fun, it's like, fucking mountain.
Like Rocky Road, or I don't know.
You could hide little candy bars up in Chunky Mountain. Just yeah, it's crazy. Absolute madness. Also too, sorry, I'm rifling off the news, but I also saw that the Navy is apparently withholding a lot of data on UFOs, which is, there's a lot of videos that they say are just they're too sensitive to share.
Like, why? Because it's like dangerous, like,
listen,
like scary, like what do you think that means? Like,
the motive is, well, they're always their explanation is that it's too,
like, we're just not ready. Like, we're not ready to.
Yeah. that's always the like one of the things people say the reason why the government is holding off any confirmed knowledge of alien visitation or aliens among us is because the theory is that we're not ready, you know.
I'm
just
ready.
don't.
Please take me to your dealer.
At this point, and it's also too, it's like diminishing hysteria. Like we've all heard of diminishing returns. It's diminishing hysteria. Would anybody really be freaking out as much as they would in the 50s or whenever? Now, if they were like, yeah, aliens have visited us, they'd be like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like, but a lot of people would feel fucking confirmed. Like, there wouldn't be this mass hysteria. Like, people would be like, what? Like,
I think there still would be.
There'd be a little bit. It'd be talked about, but
I feel like, especially like Christians, like super religious people would just like for sure be like, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I did see that apparently there's a Catholic priest who said that his explanation of aliens is they're really demons. Like it's every alien in his head is a demon trying to tempt us over to fucking UFO movies or something. I don't fucking know. That sounds like one of those things where they're like, this will explain, or this will like, it's one of those like religious like wheel spinnings where like it's like they try to fit it into a box. This is the reasoning for.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know what he said. That person, by the way, he said that feed off human passions. The aliens apparently here to corrupt and feed off human passions, which whatever that fucking means. They're
well,
like,
I mean, I feel like that kind of goes back
temptresses.
to the reptilian race, where they say that these, you know, extraterrestrials from this other planet that are the reptilians, that they're to keep their planet alive. I know this sounds so stupid and crazy, but apparently to keep their planet alive, they thrive off of negative energy. Somehow the force of you produce more like energy, so the more like negativity, and that's why they try to keep us always fighting with each other with racism and just all kinds of
that's
stuff.
what's his face? That's the David Icke fucking theory, right?
Yeah, but that's part of because of the reptilian race. So they thrive off of us fighting and being negative toward each other, and they're shapeshifters. And so they're literally here causing all this drama, and that's why some people did say that. They also say like every president is also part of the reptilian race. They say the queen,
not every president, that can't be it.
Her bloodline is part of the reptilian race. There's a whole crazy like conspiracy theory.
I know. I've read a lot about it.
So
I think David Icke just thought of Monsters Inc. before anybody else. That's all he did. He just, I mean, to think that there's no, it's not an element, it's negativity is the most fucking new worldy bullshit I've ever heard. Like,
it's hard for me to like wrap my head around like negative energy keeping another planet alive for their positive energy. Like our negative is their positive. Like, I don't know.
It seems,
but then
like
there are people that like
solid footing.
But think about it. Like there are negative people. Misery loves company. There's genuinely just negative people that want to make you, because they're so negative and they have so much, they want to give that to you and make you feel what they're feeling. And, they get off on you feeling that way. So,
and there's also like, there's a certain magnetism to any energy that's in a room, right? If there's positivity, if people are cheering and clapping and dancing, you're less likely to be fucking pissed off, right? If you just walk in a room as a blank slate, like you don't have any emotions. If people are like upset and boo-hooey, like you're more likely to be more boo-hooey, like about. So there is a certain magnetism to like emotions, of course, and there is a certain power in them, in that, emotions can affect health, they can affect productivity, they can affect all kinds of major fucking things. It affects a lot of things, but I don't know if it's a pure power source, right? I think that there's so much powerful elements in our planet and in the universe that I think there's a lot more to pull from than sadness. I just don't know how you harp that. I mean, maybe it's beyond us.
Yeah. That's why.
I don't know. And the whole reptilian thing, I don't know how I feel about the reptile thing, because I do believe that not every fucking president is a reptile, because it's just the chances of that is just, it seems, I don't know, it seems low. I think a lot of politicians are reptilian in nature, so that might
Right.
lend to it.
I mean, there's
I think
a
they're
lot of
slimy. I think the
speculations
royal
that-
family is slimy, so of course they're gonna be called a reptile, because
Yeah.
they're fucking slimy.
But there's
Prince Andrew
there's,
on a fucking island is slimy with Epstein.
just, there's theories of like, if the presidents aren't part of this reptilian race, they say that
Then who
they
is?
know that they're basically controlling us. So,
I mean, listen, could there be in the grand scheme of things, could there be some kind of force controlling us, like in a more concerted effort than just base consumerism and all the things that control us in some way to hold us down from a lot of the things that we should be doing? Sure. I don't know if it's a bunch of reptiles in a conference room, in a secret conference room 20 feet down underneath. Like, I don't think the Queen's getting together with President Biden to coordinate reptilian agenda. I just don't think that's happening. And I don't think that's like the Queen and Biden. I don't think that's the Queen and Trump. I don't think that's the Queen and Obama. And you can go down the list. I don't think that's. I think that theory is hard for me to hold water. I don't know. It's hard for me to think of that like a reptilian race. It just is just here in secret, and they're just never going to reveal themselves, and that sort of thing. I don't know.
Well, have you heard that the Queen was also affiliated with Epstein and?
Well, her kid was for sure,
and supposedly she
Andrew's got he's a little naughty boy,
but,
for sure.
But yeah, supposedly there was some video, I never saw it. I had just heard about it, that some little boy was trying to escape
the clutches of who? Queen?
And he jumped out the window or something. There was footage of it. I don't even know if they've found him, if he was alive when he fell out or whatever, but what happened, why it was a little boy escaping. I don't know, just things. And then there's been other hearsay stories of when she was a lot younger, going to different schools with children that were more secluded, of other ethnicities, and these kids would go with her and have a picnic and then never return. And then there's graves supposedly that that are of children that don't have names,
Well, I mean, she the Queen had her hand in murdering colonized children in more ways than having a picnic. And also, we had this conversation. I don't know. I think it's very convenient for people to think of her having a fucking picnic with kids and then grabbing them like she's the fucking Wicked Witch, or she's like Red Riding, the wolf from Red Riding Hood. If she's in fact in some ring of human trafficking, she's not going to the picnic. She's far removed to give herself some kind of deniability. She's not going to that thing to steal kids. She's organizing that. And I do think there's a distinct possibility that she knew with, let's say, just a pure kind of vanilla milk toasty conspiracy theory, Prince Andrew. I do think that there's a possibility that she was covering up for her son, that she knew that he did some shitty shit. And she was covering up for him. I think there's a possibility of that, for sure.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, the Epstein thing, the whole Epstein thing, just it fucks with my head, because the amount of fucking power that was involved with Epstein in some way that's never going to get out, across the board. It's insane. Yeah, and I do think Epstein was murdered. I do think, and we'll never find out by who. I know there's everybody's oh, the Clintons. It could have been the Clintons, the royal family, the Trumps, the Gates. There's so many. They all had to think that any like these people, all these people had pictures with Epstein's, and all these people took travels with Epstein's and were buddies. To think any one of them is not a likely candidate for that. Like I'm sorry, like you're drinking the Kool-Aid of whatever brand you're doing. You must be an Uber Microsoft fan or an Uber like fucking like whatever fan, because like I'm sorry, in my head, like if you took a picture and you're a buddy with Epstein, you're a major fucking you're suspect. If you're Clinton, you're a suspect. If you're Trump, you're a suspect. If you're Gates, you're a suspect. All of them are on my heavy suspect list. So we'll never know who offed him, but I do think he was probably offed. I
know you're going to get mad, but somebody left a very nice comment about my tattoo. So can I please?
Oh, you can acknowledge the comment about your tattoo. I'm going to allow.
Thank you so much. I love my Sanrio tattoos too.
I'll allow it this one time.
Thank you. You're such the Gestapo over here.
I'm not a like Gestapo.
Because when we do our podcast, he doesn't like it when I like interact too much with the live people. And I like to talk live to
I get people. It. No, I get why you're talking live.
He just doesn't like it because he has to go back and edit it out because it sounds weird when we actually format this into like a podcast
for the masses.
Listen to. So he's always like elbowing me. But fuck him.
No, I usually kick you into the chair.
And hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Kitty, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello, Kitty.
I got like Karopi back here. Twin Star, Tuxedo Sam.
Wait, there's one called Tuxedo Sam?
Yeah.
Is he wearing a tuxedo?
Yeah, he's a fat penguin.
But is he? Oh,
he
okay.
Looks like he's wearing a
got it. Penguins always look like they're wearing tuxedos. They're always fancy lads. Even though they stink like shit.
So yeah, thank you for your very nice compliment. That was very nice of you.
Just and speaking of stinky animals, would you accept a dinner party where you were?
You're so. I love penguins. Who cares if they smell?
They stink. But would you accept an invitation if you knew that the main entree, the protein on the menu, was a 55,000-year-old bison?
No.
You wouldn't want to. You wouldn't be curious to try that?
How old was it?
55,000 years old. It was mummied and iced.
Why would I taste that?
It's because of curiosity.
No.
It's on the fucking menu.
I don't know. No, definitely not.
Okay. Well, that happened with a bunch of researchers in 1970. And they discovered a mummy of a bison. They fucking decided to take a little bit of the neck and have it for dinner. 8 people. So.
And how was it?
They said it was disgusting. Surprise.
Pretty gamey.
Worse than jerky is, I think, how it was described. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty jerky-ish for sure. For sure.
How random. That's so like.
That's cool.
Bizarre and like I don't know. I mean, I guess the things you do for science, right?
That wasn't for fucking science. They were just fucking curious.
I mean, what if it was like amazing? Think about it. If it was like, if it tasted like, I don't know, PA resistance, that could be like something they would like hunt for, or they would start like trying to mummify.
They would just, Jeff Bezos
like
would just buy the whole bison.
And then try to bring him back out and be like, oh, like, and charge up the asshole for this. Like,
how much would they charge for the asshole though?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot. It's probably tender. Is the asshole tender? Someone tell me, is the asshole
moving right along? Next topic.
Oh, geez, you having me? What do you got? Nothing.
All mine is about the queen, and I feel
all you can think about is the queen.
No, I feel really bad talking about it, like because I feel
Why do you feel bad talking
insensitive. Like I feel
it's
like
fine.
You know, it's like people are probably thinking like, you know, oh, there's a time and day for that, and she just died. Be respectful, you know. But at the same time, so many people are coming out. Like I think the best.
There's a lot of people who are like
was the Irish people doing their traditional like Irish dance.
Another one bites the dust. Yeah. I mean, they have a kind of tenuous relationship with England. So apparently I do have another topic because I did see that.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. This is the shit I look up all day long. But apparently there's a scientist because 8 years ago there was a meteor about 2 feet long that entered the Earth's atmosphere. It kind of broke up, and it landed about apparently 100,000 miles an hour before exploding into tiny hot fragments. But it landed in these pieces of this meteor landed in the South Pacific Ocean. So there's a scientist, and I think this is awesome. His name is Avi Loeb of the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. He's planning an expedition to retrieve the fragments of the meteor from the ocean floor. By analyzing it, he is hoping to determine the object's origins, even going so far as to make extraordinary suggestions that it could be a technological object created by aliens. Now, talk about the world fucking like, if this is one of those moments where it would like blast our mind.
Blow.
It would blast our mind.
Oh my god. Are you trying to make that a thing?
Now that it's a mistake, I'm gonna not own it and make it a thing. Sure. But he's thinking that this could be some sort of alien technology. How awesome would that be if he was actually able to go down in the South Pacific, grab these objects, and kind of assert with some kind of actual scientific theory evidence that this was of, obviously it's going to be of,
not of this world,
but that it was actually some kind of alien technology. That would be fucking rad. I want that more than anything.
I want to know what it is. Like,
apparently it's like, well, there's like that theory about, I think we even talked about there was a long,
is it the Thor hammer?
I think we're talking, no,
That's it. That would be alien technology.
That would be alien technology. It Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, let's talk about that for a second, because if you think about like with the Norwegians, aka the Vikings, they believed in Odin, they believed in Thor, and people, like, we know factually that these people roamed the earth.
Wait, that Odin roamed the earth?
Well, we know that the Vikings,
yes, that's
so
sound.
Is it another one of their just made up gods like everybody else's?
It could be. It very well could be. Or here comes the tinfoil.
Or is Odin real?
I mean, I don't know.
So the stories are always very similar, because you have like Odin, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a son, Thor, that was the good son, and then you have his bad son. So it's like
Captain America.
So you have like the good and bad.
Yeah, it's always that's where it's hard to. Is it universal truth based on some kind of phenomena that would happen in the past that was misinterpreted, or is it just a universal human thing to create a concept of like a moral tale of good and evil, to have a father figure is
because it even goes with like
a creator, a destroyer.
The Sumerians, like with their beliefs of that Anunnaki.
So I gotta
because it was like the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
They made humans to basically be slave dwellers, do all the work slaves for them, and they then they didn't like the humans anymore. They're like, oh, they're too aggressive, they're too this, they're too that. Let's just kill them. And the two brothers, the one good brother was like, yes, or the one good brother was like, no, we're not killing them. And the bad one was like, let's kill them. And so it's like one of those things where it's like the good and bad brother, but then you have like, I don't know, it's just a lot of similarities.
Sorry, I'm such a child. I got so distracted because I started noticing that you used one hand for the good brother and one hand for the bad brother, and they started fighting each other like a puppet show.
Oh my god.
And I completely got distracted. I'm so sorry. I'm a child.
You are stupid.
I am stupid. I'm a very stupid man. I'm a very, very stupid man.
I don't know. I just always feel like there's like something that we're missing. As much as like I believe in my God, I'm just always like so curious, like how all of these other religions came about. It was just a bunch of bored people sitting in it, like sitting in a circle, like let's make.
They had to be bored. I mean, they had to be. I'm sure.
And everything revolves around the sky and looking up. And,
sure.
And having some kind of like visitors. There's always a story of visitors in every religion.
Sure, there's always the visitors.
Even in Christianity, the fiery chariots. Like aka UFO. Like,
Well,
so
like, isn't the whole Old Testament thing God talked to Moses and he carved out some tablets, and then he went down and said these are the tablets, isn't that kind of thing? And then in Islam, Muhammad was visited by Gabriel. There's all kinds of visitation stories. I wonder if we're gonna go down the ancient aliens route, right? Like just taking something and extrapolating to the 10th. Since there's always generally speaking in religions and mythology, there's always a creator, right? The god is the creator, and then there's always a destroyer. Sometimes it's one and the same. There's Ragnarok, there's Armageddon, there is, there's I apologize for missing the Hindu god of destruction. Like there's always a destruction element.
Oh yeah.
Do you think, like, I'm gonna go down this tinfoil hat? We're going down the tinfoil hat road. Do you think that was crafted from any realization or communication from, let's say, visitation of aliens? This is going real tinfoil. There's any like they said we're gonna be coming back and we're gonna destroy you motherfuckers? Do you think any of that?
No, because I mean, there's been astronauts that have said that they've had encounters when they've been up in space.
Yeah.
And two said something on two different occasions that was almost identical.
Two said two?
So, that which they both had said that they had passed a big unidentified object, huge spacecraft that they've never seen before. The technology, it's not definitely from land.
Yeah.
And there was like angelic like beings like flying outside it, which they said it honestly could have been a smaller craft, but the way that the light hit it made it look very angelic. And they said that the angelic lights those whatever they were, beings or crafts, talked to them and said, you should turn around. You're not ready. You're not ready yet. Because it's like it's like they're giving us signs and warnings that like it's coming. Like we're going to finally reveal ourselves, but you're just not at the point of ready for, like, we're just not ready. We need to be ready.
But what are they waiting for? What, like?
Because I feel like we would just like self-destruct ourselves even more than we already are.
But when is the point when humans wouldn't self-destruct based on any kind of? Is it at the point where we're almost ready to go to their hood?
I think potentially what it could be is that where we are going. I mean, we're going through like different crises here on Earth, like sure. Right, like we're killing Mother Earth. So I think when maybe we're even in a worse state than we are now, and there's no way for us to get out of what we're doing to ourselves and to our Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when they will have no choice but to come and help us. Hopefully.
I got a question. Do you think they have a more they have a vested their interest is more in the planet or in the species of humans?
I think both, because I think that we all are alien to this world. I think we were made by an alien. Technically, we were made by God. And he's not on Earth. I mean, he can be when he is. You would say he is everything, and but heaven. So technically, if you think of heaven, if it's not here on Earth, where is it?
I don't know.
It's another planet. It's in another
galaxy.
For me,
it's a Baskin Robbins.
So to me, like, in a sense, like, our God is an alien, so that makes us aliens too. So.
Well, I think that, like, the reason why I asked that question is because I think there's a world where we, similar to the dinosaurs, where the climate pushes it out, but we're accelerating the process through like some man-made factors of climate change and some just cyclical factors in climate change.
Yes.
There's a distinct possibility of a world where we go extinct because of climate change or whatever. But the Earth still carries on, and some other form of species that's much more adapted or suited for whatever the climate would be in the near or far future. So the Earth is going to go on. I mean, I wonder if like the aliens are going to end up saving us, or they're going to come back, or whatever. Or
Well, that's why Elon Musk is trying to take all the rich people to Mars.
oh yeah. Could you imagine? Like, what kind of life is that? Like, you're just like, even if you could get to Mars as the planet is crumbling, like you pulled a Superman, unless like
it's gonna be super like culty, like in the beginning. You know what I mean? If it's only like this small amount of people, like I just imagine like it being very like Handmaid's Tale.
And also too,
like
it's
this like perfect society, like weird.
There's some kind of joy about both like living amongst a big community of people, and also like there's I'm sure for some rich folks there's also a joy of being financially above people. So if say you're Jeff Bezos, like I don't fucking know him, I don't know, but you're Jeff Bezos and you go to Mars and you're just hanging out with like, let's say 100 other people, and you're all just about as rich. I feel like that would suck some of the joy out of being rich, because you're just as rich as like, dude, there's no like people to like look down upon. There's no like there's no like human trash to like sail your fucking $100 million yacht past. Like it takes away the joy from. And also too, it's got to be boring as fuck, like on Mars, right? I don't know. Like it seems like if the Earth is crumbling,
for the children that are born there, they won't know anything else. So for them, no.
Sure. Would you go, like, say that in a case where, like, I know that it's so one of the factors, like, we're doing a hypothetical of would you go, but like, let's take away me and our daughter. Like, if that wasn't part of the, because if you guys were going, I would go. If you guys were part of it, but let's just say it's just you.
Go.
Would you go?
Yeah, I'd go to Mars.
Or would you be like, the Earth is crumbling, this is my home, fuck it, I'm just gonna stick around and watch the whole thing?
I mean,
shatter.
if I had an opportunity to go to another planet and this Earth was just like going to be gone, knowing that it was going to be gone in let's say the next 20 years, you know, that I was going to be alive and I had that opportunity. In a sense, I know it would be very hard because it'd be very different, but I would be willing to do it, especially if I didn't have a family, you know, like it would
what
be
if
cool.
what if you could go and there's 100 people and everybody's chill as fuck, but you absolutely had to bunk up, like you had to share bunk beds in a room with Amu Haji, the man who hasn't showered in 60 years.
You already know the answer to that, so why would you?
You wouldn't? You still have a chance to live.
I would not go with
but
a
you just had
homeless
to bunk.
man that hasn't showered in like 60 years. Like
you didn't have to, like, you weren't partners.
No.
You just had to like
he wouldn't go.
share a
Like
room.
why would he go?
Because he's really into it. He's like, man, I've got enough fucking dirt from the Earth on me. I got to get that Mars dirt, that Martian dirt.
No.
I forget, we did an episode on Mars. Do you believe Mars is do you think there were
we can live there?
No, I'm sure we can eventually. We can what do you call it? I was gonna say hydroplane, but that's not the fucking word. That's not at all the word. We could
Harvest?
No, it's not. What's the make word for making planets yeah. That'd be fucking habitable. Habitable. Terraforming. I don't know why I forgot it. Terraform. So we can eventually terraform it, but do you believe in the supposed aliens, the ancient aliens that we're visiting, wherever you want to place them? I don't know. Do you think that any of them are from Mars? Or do you think Mars was like long ago habitable?
We've already talked about this. I think that
well, don't fucking throw me under the bus. Just fucking.
I think that
we've already talked about this. Fuck you.
So aggressive. We've talked about it on the podcast.
Okay, well, we're recapping. Jesus Christ.
I think that Egyptians were using both Mars and Earth at the same time.
What? Mm-hmm. Wait, what? Egyptians were taking like round trip tours?
I believe that
what?
either pharaohs were living on Mars, because
King
the way
Tut.
that the pyramids are lined up, it was
Mhm.
always so Mars can see them, like the light, was like directly, like astronomically back then, like lined up, like so it was almost always having your light on to like to let you know. So I
This
think
little light of mine.
either Mars had human life on it a long time ago, and they fucked up their planet and then came here, and now basically we're doing the same thing, and now we're trying to go back there because it's habitable again. So it's going to be this like this cycle, of like I guess playing with fire and seeing how close
How come they couldn't terraform
the
it then
sun
if
will
Egyptians were
get
there?
to the planet, huh?
If Egyptians were utilizing and they were going, you say they were actually going or no?
Or if that was like their Earth, like flip flopped of what we're doing now.
Well, I think the one of the theories is that Mars at one time was actually very long ago, way pre-human species, but Mars was habitable. Like Mars was actually in better shape in terms of what we know as biological life, or the kind of factors that allow biological. It was
Right.
Mars was better suited than Earth at one time, but this was very long ago.
And there's like pictures of, it looks like, I don't know, like pyramids, and they found things. They even said that there's a sphinx that mimics, the one in Giza. So it's like I don't know. I definitely think that they were either going back and forth, or that was like the origin of our people that had come from Mars.
Yeah, I mean, back and forth is, I don't know. That's tough for me.
Back, forth, and forth.
Hey, you told me, you pointed out that you saw the story about the vampire skeleton
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
with the sickle. Yeah, that's nuts.
Did you like? Because I was like trying to find like more research about it, like because that was, I think, one of the only like bodies they found like that, right? Like with the sickle around the neck.
Yeah, and that's basically just to
Yeah.
like, it's like
So
we don't know if she's gonna
basically,
die.
we saw this story online that there was this vampire. Where did they say that she was from?
Let's see,
Where did they
Polish.
bury
She
her?
was in a Polish village of Pien.
And yeah, in a
Now Polish village. I don't know what it was at the time.
Yeah, at the
It was
time, who knows?
17th century.
But yeah, basically she was a vampire. But like even looking at her sarcophagus,
It's Halloween time. We got
like
to
I
it.
feel like her teeth didn't look very vampire-esque to me. Like they said a couple of her teeth looked like they were protruding out, but they didn't look like anything like really like crazy abnormal. But
That's because she was
basically
fucking
they said
clever.
that they showed the picture that she had basically like this blade around her neck, and if she
It
like
was a straight up sickle. They're
if
like,
she moved, if she came back to life, because that's what vampires do, even if you try to kill them. If there's any movement for her trying to get out of the coffin,
yeah,
like she would be beheaded. Like she would just basically like cut her own head off, which is insane.
that is fucking.
So
that
it
is
makes
a
you wonder,
badass
like
trap.
maybe she wasn't I know back, especially in certain eras, the hysteria with vampires and stuff like
She
that.
was probably
She was
just,
probably just, maybe she had a demon,
or you know what it probably was. The sad part was she was probably a woman of her own opinion. It's probably likely what it is. She's a witch. Like
she's too smart.
Any
Kill her.
female who was bright and motivated was some, like not any, but a lot of were dubbed a witch just because we're not, the fucking patriarch was like, we're not having this.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right. And that's very true. That's probably,
She's getting sassy. She's reading
so
books.
Shitty. It just makes me have so many questions. So that they bury her alive, and she basically just sitting there like not able to move because there's a fucking knife. Like
They must have had some idea of her being at least dead for the moment. They're like, we're not sure though. We're not fucking sure.
Yeah. Like to do that. Like, gosh, I wonder if they'll find more. Knowing that that's the only body that was buried like that, like that's insane though, because they buried other vampires, but in different ways, right? That's
yeah,
what
they would constantly, and they would like do trap. There's been archaeological digs of like stakes to the heart where they're like, person's already dead, but let's bury them with a stake in their heart, like just in case. That kind of shit would happen. I just like the amount of phobia over one fucking person. Like, it's just like she must have been real hated in the village. She must have had a real rough time. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, this has been an episode of Extra Normal Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Extra Normal Podcast, Twitter, Extra Normal P, TikTok, Extra Normal Podcast. You can email us, extranormalpodcast@gmail.com, if you have any stories about being a vampire and people trying to bury you. Please relay that and we'll have you on.
Yes, I think that should be our next episode. Let's get back on the
vampires. Yeah, let's do vampires. So we're gonna do vampires next episode. We already did a Dracula one, right? We did Dracula, and because you thought he was in. No, we're gonna do vampires, straight up vampires. Because it is.
I loved our Dracula season. One because I found that awesome picture of like
the UFO
in Romania. Yeah, the UFO that like is in a church. Like it's so weird. That's
a good picture.
It's just all the stuff that that just doesn't make sense. Nobody even questions. They're like, oh, here's this religious portrait, and then like there's like UFOs above it. You're just like, what are those? Like no one's talking about the things flying in the sky in the painting.
What was that? And also stay tuned. Take a look. Take a look. I can't talk tonight. Take a look in a book. Keep your eyes out for. We're also going to be doing Extra Normal Podcast Junior for the spooky season, the Halloween season, with our little one. We're going to be doing kid-friendly episodes where you can listen in the car with your child and still hear about vampires and zombies and UFOs.
And her take on all of it. Obviously, it's going
to be very version. It might be more mature than my take on most stuff. So we'll see. But anyways, this has been an episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Thanks.
Thanks.